This episode of Talkin' About Rock is sponsored by Unleashed Music. Drawing on years of experience, contacts, and partnerships, Unleashed Music is uniquely positioned to platform, develop, and realize the vision of artists of all genres. Achieve your goals by partnering with Unleashed Music and take advantage of their decades of experience to help you create and execute your marketing campaign. Visit unleashedmusic.com for more info.
On this episode of Talking About Rock, Marc Storace. Talking About Rock, sponsored by School of Rock, North Buffalo, where they're making musicians every day. Hello and welcome to this episode of Talking About Rock. I'm Rob Edwards. Here we bring you rock interviews from veteran and upcoming artists. Subscribe on our YouTube channel to stay up to date. Follow us on our social media and our website, talkingaboutrock.com. Today's guest is best known for his time as the lead singer and songwriter for Krokus, selling over 15 million albums and winning several gold and platinum awards. In 2021, he started working on his solo career. With us now to talk about his new album, Crossfire, that'll be out on November 22nd. Let's welcome Marc Storace to the show. Hello, Marc.
Hello, everybody. How are you doing?
Great, man. How's it going there?
Fine, thanks. And you?
Oh, very good, man. So I want to talk to you here about the new album you got going on. You did some collaborations on here with Tony Hendrickson, Alice Cooper,
exactly.
And Pat, also Abby, also from Krokus. So tell us a little bit about that and the production work on here with Tommy.
Well, I met Tommy a long time ago when I did these backing vocals for a Swiss hard rock band called China. And we've been friends since then. And last time when I met him, we were playing with the Storace band at this big festival. And Alice Cooper was headlining and we were closing the whole thing. And we were having real fun. You know, the crowd stayed on late at night doing mosh pits and everything. You know?
Awesome.
So it was awesome. And so then Tommy turned up, you know. I mean, we had seen each other the whole day. I said, you know, Mark, after seeing that performance, I would like to produce your next album. And I said, hell yeah.
Right.
That's good news for me, you know, but do you have the time? Are you around? I said, hell, I'll make time, you know.
Right, because he's a very busy guy, right? Definitely.
Very, very busy, you know. He's always out on the road with Alice Cooper, the never-ending tours. And then he was out with Hollywood Vampires and working on his own solo thing, you know, Crossbones Cully, and which is, by the way, going to be released. His album going to be released same day as mine on the 22nd November.
Oh, excellent.
So it's, we got a couple of things in common, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
He's a great guy and a big Krokus fan. Fan of mine, fan of my voice and stuff. So it was a good feeling working with him. And, you know, and he understands, you know, he really understands another singer. So it's very good for a singer.
Yeah, definitely. And you've always had a phenomenal voice. You know, I can remember that voice cutting through when the Krokus Headhunter album dropped, you know, seeing the videos for that on MTV. You know, they were a little hokey back in the day, but great music and great stuff you guys did. Definitely with that.
Right.
And with this project, I think you started touring in Switzerland kind of just when Corona was coming, when that just started or
Well, I mean, Krokus gave up, threw in the towel end of December 2019,
right,
right before Corona.
right.
And so I was like, nothing to do. Did some karaoke duets with my young daughter, Juliana, and enjoyed that. Had great comments. We were asked to do some streaming stuff on TV and had some fun. And after a while, I thought, well, we've done enough, and she's got a lot of publicity and doesn't have an album, the songs to do an album yet. And anyway, during lockdown, what do you want to do? And anyway, so I had all these ideas in this drawer and lyrics and archived some old songs which I'd written with a friend of mine here and a friend of mine in Newcastle and so on. So I thought maybe it's time to make a solo album, the
Right.
first official Storace solo album. And I got in contact with these guys whom I'd worked with before doing this TV production that went platinum, so it was a successful thing and we had a good vibe working together. And so I asked if they were, into it, and sure they were. And we recorded the whole stuff at their studio, Power Play studio outside Zurich. And we even wrote a bunch of songs together. There's about 5 songs I wrote with Cyril and Masi. And well, the other stuff is I wrote with this Adrian Fisher from Newcastle, England. And the rest of the stuff, including the title song, Live and Let Live, because that was the first album,
Right.
Live and Live. I wrote with Charlie Preissel, who just lives down the road, round the corner.
That's convenient. Yeah.
That was convenient, yeah. And had a great time. I went on the road with the first band, which was basically all the guys who played on the album, except the guitar player, because he was signed to be out, like to do stuff with Joss Stone, And well, this was all lockdown and masks and distances and what, keeping the hands clean and
Yeah.
stuff.
All the craziness that was involved with all that.
Staying at
Yes.
home, people losing their jobs and uh, show business going down the drain and people doing lots of stuff on YouTube, streaming and stuff like that. So, yeah, but then the album was done and we did some couple of streaming gigs, One of them was with the Balwaz session, and the Balwaz session transmits all around the world. So it was quite good exposure,
Right.
For this brand new band. I mean, it was like starting over for me,
Right. Exactly. Yeah. A lot of folks were doing that back then, doing a lot of streaming things. Like you said, stuff was
Yeah,
shut down
yeah,
and yeah, who you didn't know what was going to happen with music or entertainment,
no,
everything was put on hold and tours were
not,
canceled. And, a lot of folks were like kind of almost stuck. They were like trying to get home. It was just a crazy, crazy time. Definitely,
yeah, yeah,
and
people dying and stuff
yeah,
like
just crazy. But
that.
the new album you guys got out here, I'm really liking the tracks on that. Tell us a little bit about the first single that you had on there, Screaming Demon. Really liking that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it wasn't the first single. It was actually the third one we just did. And before that, we had Rock This City. That was the first single and video. And the second was We All Need the Money. And that was also a video. And the recent one, Screaming Demon, which is number one, first track on the Crossfire album.
Yes.
It really bang, starts with a bang and keeps driving on. And it's about driving. It's about uh, people who love driving fast, hot cars and you know, and yeah, I mean, I'm one of those guys. And although, I try to find the right roads right places where to do it. The best is, you know, you can hire time on a racetrack and really let it out, you know. But anyway, Screaming Demon, it's it's just a great song,
Yes,
basically.
definitely, definitely. So yeah,
The
so I want to
band
take yeah, go ahead.
the band is really pumping, you know. Oof, oof.
Yeah, definitely loving that track. Definitely.
Demon!
Yep. So I wanted to take a quick short break here. We'll check out the track and the video for Screaming Demon from the new
Okay.
album Crossfire. And we'll be right back here with Marc on Talking About Rock. Okay, we're back here on Talking About Rock. Just checked out the track and video for Screaming Demon. Great stuff, man. Really liking what's going on here. So I've been reading a little bit more about your history. So it looks like back in the day, you were actually, asked to audition for AC/DC, and I guess originally, like they were kind of comparing you to Bon Scott, and I don't know if you really liked that at first when that was coming out, right?
Well, I no, I mean, you know how it is. You want to be your own, appreciated for what you do, and when it starts to sound like I'm copying somebody,
Right,
it doesn't feel good. I
right.
mean, it doesn't feel good for anybody who's compared to other people. Um, but I really respect what Bon Scott did, and he wrote great lyrics. He was really energetic and lively on stage, and a sexy singing, sexy guy. And I know it was a big loss for AC/DC, and but when I was asked if I wanted to audition, I turned it down because I was really happy where I was, doing my thing with Krokus, and I had just released the most successful album in my life up to then. I've got a long history with progressive hard rock band T and so on and other stuff I did. And so when it came to Crocus and debut album goes pang in the charts and the telephones ringing, management didn't know how to handle it and stuff,
It was
and
exploding at that. I remember when that came out. Yeah, everyone had that, or that I knew had that album in the 80s.
so so then we were preparing to go out on the hardware tour, and this guy from Birmingham brought down the new light show, new production, and I was really happy about that. And when he took me on the side and asked me if, because they did productions for AC/DC as well. So when he asked me to, if I wanted to audition up in Birmingham or London or wherever, I just said, no, I'm fine now. I'm fine here. I'm happy. We're gonna go places.
Yeah, you guys were just starting to pivot up, definitely. Yeah. So what? Yeah. So
Yeah,
why chance it? For sure.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I mean, I think for a band coming from a little country in Central Europe, which is known more for banks and chocolates and cheese and watches, and definitely not for rock bands, we achieved a hell of a lot. And one big influence that Swiss bands have here is that Switzerland is visited like every day. There's bands coming in and out, driving. The bands that drive all over Europe, they always stop in Switzerland because the Swiss population love music. And I don't mean only hard rock, but many genres,
Right.
and
Genres. Yeah.
and and well, there's enough hard rock fans here. It's great. So all the hard rock big bands come through, and you learn from that. And yeah, that's how it is. So yeah,
Yeah. So
I'm in the right place. I was in the right place at the right time, and we came out with the right album at the right time, and things happened.
yeah, definitely things, and other things have happened to you as for you as well in the 90s and 2000s. You were in two feature films, and you sang on
Ah,
both the film soundtracks, also, right?
yeah, I did for Handyman. Handy is a mobile phone in Europe or in Switzerland anyway. The guy, the a manager type of guy with a handy that's always going. And this guy is a really funny guy, funny Swiss guy. It was comedy, and he was my manager, the band's manager, and we were up to stuff like burning shit in the hotel room and stuff like that. And broke this expensive old Chinese vase and
All the rock and roll stuff you would do
oh
back in the day, right? Right. All that kind of
yeah,
stuff, right? Getting in trouble, throwing
yeah,
TVs out windows, that kind of stuff, right?
yeah, throwing the TV into the pool.
Right.
So, yeah, um, and but the other film, Anouk, was totally a total different cup of tea, you know. And Doro, if you know Doro Pesh,
Oh, yes.
she starred in that big time, and Luke Gusser is also the guy who produced it and directed it. He's also a musician and a singer, and he's done a few films, and Anouk was one of them. And I played a shaman, like one of these witch doctors or whatever you call them,
Right.
with healing powers. And yeah, so yeah, but I died on the hill in the end, so
Oh,
I was
so no sequel for
bleeding.
that one.
I was bleeding.
No sequel for that one. Well, that
Well,
sounds very cool, definitely. Yeah,
yeah, it was great. A bit of touch of Hollywood here in Switzerland, and obviously, doing all the videos with rock bands also helps you a lot. You're just like you don't even check the camera anymore. You don't need to look into the camera. You shouldn't. And so that was a good upbringing. And the very first film I took part in, I was only about 12 years old. It was this competition that was happening in Malta. But anyway,
so you have a lot of different things that have happened for you. It's so great.
yeah.
And I know you guys are making plans and you're talking about an extended tour in support of the new album. What can you tell us about that? Is there stuff in the works to be coming out and doing some shows and touring?
Well, I mean, we take it step by step. Now the album is gonna come out 22nd November. You can pre-order now and help us get in the charts. And I'm very happy with the new label I'm signed with, because for this one it was a do-it-yourself thing.
Right,
Nobody was signing anybody during COVID,
right,
and they all thought they wanted to get rid of acts rather than sign new ones. But
right.
but here now I'm signed with Frontiers Records,
Yep,
and
great label, great label. They're putting out tons
they're
of different stuff. Yeah.
international, independent, and really great. Have great communication. Things happen fast, so we're hoping for the best, and we'll see what happens with the album, and so on. And then obviously, the phones start ringing if web promoters see that the album's doing good, and read a little bit about the history of this band that's been going since 3 years now only. And we've had a good run these past 3 years. We've played as special guests for Kiss on their Bye Bye tour here in the Hallenstadion, a huge place, 12,000 people. And that was really good exposure for the Storace band. And then we repeated the same thing in the same big hall with the Scorpions uh, a year later. And this year we played again with the Scorpions in another place close to a lake, an open air festival. And in between, we've played loads and loads of legendary Swiss venues, including some little ones uh, to start up before going out on tour. We start up with smaller uh, clubs, also little popular ones to warm up. And it's been fun, and um, the band, as you said before, Patrick Abbey, he was in Krokus for the Rock the Block album, then followed a double album, Fire and Gasoline. And also together with him was Dominic Fave, rhythm guitar player. He was also on the Rock the Block tour and album and Fire and Gasoline double album. And he stayed on for the Hellraiser album, which is like pretty well known.
Yeah, definitely.
When Gold and stuff. So it was really a fun time. And you know, uh, Emmy Emmy Meyer, the bass player, she is one hell of a, I mean, she hits that bass with such charisma, but brutally, it's great, I mean, you really feel it here, And I've known her since years. We toured together on this Swiss traveling rock circus, with it was with loads of other musicians and just playing rock hits, So that's us four, and the guitar player Serge Kristen. He was the very first guitar player when I first started out with my first Marc Storace band way back. And we had opened for this big idol, Johnny Holiday. He was a French guy, similar to the French version of Elvis Presley,
Oh, okay. Right.
Not copying Elvis really, but it was from the same era. And but so we regrouped kind of with Serge, and it's really happening. And the last festival we played together, we recorded that, and we cut two festivals together. And the other one is from way back in the middle of summer with Tommy Henriksen on it. And we used it as the video for the second video that was out, second single, We All Need the Money. And well, it looks great and it feels good,
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Love the tracks in the new album. So the new album, Crossfire, is going to be out November 22nd from Storace. And this wraps up this episode of Talking About Rock. I just want to thank our guest today, Marc Storace. Thank you to our sponsors, School of Rock North Buffalo and Unleash Music. And to all our listeners and viewers, remember to keep the torch alive and to support live music wherever you are. Marc, again, thanks for being with us, man.
Thanks a lot.